Absolutely.
Here he comes. This will be the start of his racing history. Let's hope it's long. Checking, we've got slight conflict between what we thought and what our official timing is telling us on the timing for Ian James. But absolutely, Armin O'Harty does not have to get back into this car for the remainder of this race.
Well, he's done a Ben Keating, hasn't he? He's taken it from the start and just driven until basically 3/4 of the race is completed and given his teammates as little time in the car as possible. Now, Valentino Rossi is also under similar time restraints. He's a silver graded driver, so again, he's got to do the 2.5 hour minimum drive time. And then Maxime Martin, platinum, can do as much or as little as the regulations allow. So
now watch this, he's going to move the steering wheel. He did this yesterday in practice, and I was watching actually how, you see how hard he's
trying to get the door netting.
Got to push, that's got to go in, it's not clicking in.
Right, he's trying to pull it out. How's it got twisted around? There
Finally,
you go, clicks in, yeah. I mean, it is super tight, yeah, super tight. And you've got gloves on and you're exhausted. Valentino is done and gone.
I think they might have wasted a bit of time with that netting there, not going
well, Valet didn't look like he was ready to go, even when the door was being closed, but it wasn't far off.
I was going to say, yesterday in practice, I was watching Rossi and how he was doing the seat belts up, and he was quite a perfectionist. He wanted to make sure they're absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
If you needed any more motivation, you're fighting in the podium positions. And when I spoke to him yesterday, he said there's nothing more than what he'd love to have immediately to get onto the podium. They got tantalizingly close in Qatar. He was really looking forward to that. So, yeah, he's certainly, like you say, he's got the skills in this car. He's no newcomer to the world of GT racing. He's just a newcomer to the world of the World Endurance Championship.
And that will send about 75% of the crowd into paroxysms of ecstasy as Valentino Rossi takes a second place here. But there's Sean Gelael. He's a very happy boy as well.
Yeah, he drove really well today, didn't he? He was just chipping away at Valentino Rossi, lap after lap. The gap at one point, when I first saw them out there together, was 19 seconds. He brought it down, and we saw the gap in the pit stop. It was down to about 5 or 6 by the end of their stints.
Well, Toyota really managed the race. The drivers, the tyres, the energy, every aspect of that was as sure-footed and composed as it could possibly have been from Toyota Gazoo Racing. And that one little driving error on that last lap from Brendan Hartley drops them from 4th to 5th. But still, what a race for Toyota. It wasn't the quickest car, it won the race. And Valentino Rossi and the team there, a 1-2 for BMW Team WRT. He looks absolutely shell-shocked. What's just happened? Valentino Rossi. I mean, God love him, whether you've ever met him or you haven't, everything you see about him is what you get. I was going to say, you probably still owe him a little bit of money.
I don't.
Marco Panieri, the mayor of Imola, presented the overall trophies, and one of the biggest cheers for Valentino Rossi. Rossi and Valet on the inside. Lopez hanging on. Valentino fresh into the car, so the tyres will be newer than those of Pachito, who's at the end of a double. Oh! Valentino Rossi knows when there's a gap and when there isn't, and he saw it was closing. You saw the extra braking there at the apex.
Get his elbows out rather than his knee down there, and world champions galore in that battle.
Now, interestingly, behind them is the white Porsche that leads LMGT3. So this battle, which is for 5th position, is in danger of going a lap down on the leader. Here comes Valet. The doctor on the inside. Jose Maria Lopez knows how to race this track. But it is Valentino Rossi who has the inside line, tucks it into the apex, and through he goes. He's up to 5th place.
I mean, the success in Le Mans over a long period of time in the equally weighted LMP2 class was something that we think, thought demonstrated their clear capabilities. And our view was that with some stronger financial backing, some capital, some investment, we could make a push to be competitive at the highest level of the sport. And what attracted us to endurance racing was the fact that we've seen a significant rise in the interest in motorsports globally, and we hadn't seen as much of a increased level of interest in WEC, and we thought that that was ripe to change. And I still believe very, very strongly that that's the case. When you look at motorsport, or sport in general, what attracts people are two things. You have the sense of tribalism, you have a team that you can root for, and uncertainty of outcome. And there's nothing in sport with greater uncertainty and outcome than a 24-hour race where you don't have the slightest idea who's going to win until the very last moment. It is absolutely the most unbelievable event in sports. I really don't think there's a second that comes close.
You led on the debut with the team at Le Mans last year in pretty ropey conditions. That was drama.
And I was getting interviewed as we led, and the moment the words left my mouth, we had our unfortunate mishaps. But yes, it was a wonderful experience.
I'll ask this question. You happy with the journey so far?
But we were so happy with the experience and being a customer that we ended up investing in Jota. And I don't think there's a stronger way to represent your commitment to something than actually put your money behind it. And so it's not just us bringing brands that can enhance those brands and provide the much needed publicity. We all know the mantra of racing and or winning on Sunday and selling on Monday. I think that's very true across.
Just changed as I looked at the screen to see who was on board. It's changed to Valentino Rossi, so Valle at the wheel. And this car is, in fact, is Farfus 2 cars ahead in the 31 car. This is Valentino, he's in 12th position, chasing the Manthey EMA Porsche of Maurice Schuring. And in front of him is Augusto Farfus in the 31 BMW. Lots and lots of Valentino Rossi fans everywhere we go, and why wouldn't there be? An absolute legend of motorsport, a 9-time world champion, and there is Augusto Farfus being overtaken by Maurice Schuring. That's a great pass by Schuring. And here's the view. Farfus coming back at him in the BMW. Augusto Farfus, supremely experienced in BMW GT cars and touring cars.
It's going to be that run down towards turn 1, as we so often see. Rossi's getting involved.
3 wide, Valentino trying to take advantage of that. That's brilliant stuff.
And he's read that situation pretty well. Pops up on the inside. He's got to be given space, though, for the other BMW on his left.
But Valentino is trying hard to get by both of them, and at the moment he's got by Augusto Farfus, and that move, using the toe of the 2 cars, that was a pure motorcycle racer's instinct to throw it up the inside there and try and dive by them with your leg dangling into turn 1. Valentino Rossi really showing what he's made of.
Podium for Valentino Rossi, as well as part of that 46 crew, and he did a lot of the heavy lifting in that effort. Excellent race from the Italian legend. Put themselves exactly where they needed to be, but let's not forget this moment.
Yeah, 46. This is the 2nd podium of the season for this team. Ahmed El-Hati, Valentino Rossi and Maxime Martin. They finished in 2nd place, and they are working their way through. Here's the battle for 2nd again in LMGT3, and Valentino Rossi moves through on the inside, gets up to 2nd place, ahead of Timo Boguslavski, but they're still nearly 20 seconds behind the Lexus, and right behind them, Drift King Simon Mann in the 21 Ferrari. So this is on board with Boguslavski. Came into endurance racing from rallycross.
Yeah, they're dancing the streets of Imola right now. Through into the lead of a tight 4 LMGT3 battle comes the Doctor, not the lead, apologies, second place, because Clemens Schmidt is 20 seconds up the road from this, but this is a 3-car battle for that second place. Change here for the lead in LMGT3, and it's Simon Mann on a charge and is ahead of Valentino Rossi.
So how's he managed that?
Well, we talked a little earlier about, I think Valet is actually catching him back up. This is after Valet's recent stop, but I'm not quite sure how that's worked through. Just looking at the times on pit lane for those two, it was a fuel-only stop from Simon Mann. He's ceded 34, so he's gained 34 seconds on pit lane against Valentino Rossi.
Oh yeah, I don't have the tyre data for those of you wondering. I only have it on for the hypercars. So I'm guessing therefore, like you say, he's on much older tyres, and so he's gone for the track position.
Yep.
But Rossi's got a good run here on the exit of Acqua Minerale, and the drag race up the hill to the top chicane. It's going to be hard to go around the outside there. Rene Rast will tell you all about that. But yeah, he thinks better of it, and trying to work out where his best chance is to try and outbrake the Ferrari. We haven't seen the straight line speed difference between the two of these cars. Mann covers the inside into Ravazza 1. Oh, and Rossi sends it on the inside. There's contact.
And he's in the barrier. He's in the barrier. Oh dear, oh dear. That could be drama. Well, it's drama for at least one of them, and possibly both.
Seriously unhappy faces, as you'd imagine, from down at the Ferrari pit garage as well. In the pits there, there's just hands in their heads. But look, so he's seen a gap, goes for it, and Mann has just carried on turning in on the racing line. I think it was a little bit late. It was a little bit late from Rossi, I think, that through.
Hits the car behind the door.
Let's have a look from the car from behind. There was a gap, then there wasn't a gap, and not quite enough of his car was alongside. I'm going to have to give that one over to the stewards.
Well, second last year for the crew of 46, second this year as well. Maybe next year will be third time lucky for Valentino Rossi. And here comes the battle behind. Valentino Rossi again, ahead of Riccardo Pera. Pera on the inside, bounces over the curb. This is close stuff again for sixth position.
That's it.
On board with Riccardo Pera. Here's the view down the long back straight, over a kilometre here, just adjusting down the inside. Rahul Frey goes by as well, so she passes Sean Galel. She's up to fourth in the Iron Dames Porsche. Little ripple of applause there. You can see the two starting drivers in the Manthey cars. Celia Martin alongside her.
Just looking at the windscreen wiper usage here. Yeah, look at this on board with Sean Galel.
Has he not got a wiper?
No, he has. He's just the odd flick with the wiper. It's the other car, the 59 car. I've not seen that wiper in play at all. When you get the in-car from that car, the visibility is absolutely awful.
Valentino Rossi on the inside, around the outside, Riccardo Pera. Oh, and it cuts back to the inside. He's still there. That's brave stuff.
Battle of the Silvers here. Cracking stuff between these two.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's difficult to stay on track in these conditions, and good respect between those two drivers as well. So great racing. What's going to happen as they head down towards turn one, though? Just Rossi with the advantage. Looks like the BMW's got slightly more straight line speed as well. So he's got that covered into one.
Don't forget 92, that turquoise car is our championship leader. The better for those Mercedes. 21 versus 46. This is Ferrari a long way off the pace of Simon Mann. Valentino Rossi going by him. That's a change for 13.
Rossi's driving really well in these conditions.
Doing great.
Yeah, really homing in on the sister car there. It's just a matter of trying to find a way by. It's more about, I think, waiting for your opponent to make a mistake, because overtaking, when you've got this condition with, you can clearly see there's more of a damp line appearing with the car, and that exactly that, but Rossi sends it down the inside. Nice late braking, but the invite was there as his teammate went a bit too wide.
The pair of them were very much on the edge. It's an awful lot of opposite lock there from Valet to actually just save driving into the sister car, then save the corner, then make the pass.
And Amadou Harty, these guys, they've needed some luck. They've been in positions to score well and have had tough luck so far this season. But Amadou Harty, Kelvin van der Linde and Valentino Rossi make it into second place. A well-deserved podium